I was in jail and I was like, man, I want my name to be something that when you look at it, you're like, what? What does this mean? Like, I want to know more. So I was like, I'm gonna name myself IDK. It's like I don't know if that's what people are gonna think. I named myself IDK. It used to be JIDK. J was my original. Well, J is my actual name, Jason. And I put IDK behind it. And I was like, yo, if I'm gonna do this, what describes me? What kind of acronym? And I thought about it. And I'm like, ignorantly delivering knowledge. My whole life is like a paradox. It's like growing up middle class, going to jail. I'm the first person in my family to go to jail. You know what I mean? Um, I used to, I used to sell sneakers, cars. I used to do tattoos in high school in class while the teacher was teaching. I was a barber.
Like real tattoos?
Tattoos. I was a barber. I was a mechanic. Like dead ass. Like I did so many different things. Like it's a bunch of things that don't make sense together, but when you put it together with me, it does. And that's why ignorantly delivering knowledge was perfect.
So you mentioned this like really unique upbringing and like experiences that have built you. So I know that you were born in London.
Yeah,
You grew up
that
in
too.
Maryland.
That's
So like,
another one.
how did the places that you claim home like come into your music and your art and just you?
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like I was born in London. I came to America when I was 2. My mom is from Sierra Leone. My dad is from Ghana. Like there's all these different dynamics that make up who I am. You feel me? I probably wouldn't respect Fela Kuti if I wasn't the way I do if I wasn't African. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't think to get into it. You know what I mean? So that has a lot to do with that. Where I'm from, PG County, you can see a lot of that in my music if you're from there. From the way that I may say certain words to certain drum patterns that I might choose to rap over. You know what I mean? Then we have like me being from London. It's like I don't want to say because I didn't spend a lot of time there, but I do know like some of y'all may know a song I have. It's called Pizza Shop. It was on I Was Very Bad. I wrote that when I was in London. You know what I mean? And there was like a certain vibe, to it that made me feel like I was at home, even though I didn't grow up there. You know what I'm saying? So I think like a lot of those dynamics come together in my music for sure. And sometimes it's subconscious. Sometimes I don't really notice it. You know what I mean? That happens like all the time. Yeah.
So going off of that, what's your favorite song that you ever made, if you have one?
It's like stuff that I'm making right now. Yeah. We had like a 7-hour drive, and like everybody in the car was probably like, "What the fuck?" Because it's like it'd be like the same song on repeat like for like the first 2 hours. Then it's like the next 2 hours is like another joint, and then I'm going back and forth like. So I think some of the best music that I've been making is the stuff that I'm making now, and I mean, I know everyone kind of says that, but it's true because like I've been developing and I've been learning new tricks, and I've been finding things that speak to me in a better way, so.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what does success look like for you in the future?
Well, I could speak on even further than 5 years. I feel like when I'm 35 years old, my goal is to be able to do what I'm doing with music, but in the film space. I'm really interested in film. I think I write a lot of my albums and music almost like films. I kind of like having stories and things like that. So that's something I want to do eventually. I'll never stop doing music. I'll probably be still doing music simultaneously. I'm into a lot of different things business-wise. Like, I'm a part owner of a gym and a boxing program in LA right now. I don't know if I should say this yet. I'm not gonna say this one yet. Cause it gotta I gotta do it first. Like it's on camera and shit. You know what I mean? Like I get it. There's another thing that I'm doing that's gonna be really great that I think it's gonna surprise a lot of people. Man, there's just so many different things I want to get into. So many different things. And you'll see a lot of them this year, for sure. Like you'll see the start of them this year. Yeah.
And then I guess for the people here in the audience who are creatives or singers or want to be in the music industry,
Yeah.
like any advice for us because we're all lost and
Ooh.
confused.
All right, music. People don't want to hear this. People think like it's way more difficult and complicated than this. But with music, it took me a while to figure this out. But it's so simple. With music, it all like marketing, all that stuff. Yeah, that's cool. But one of the most important things is originality and actually being good. If you focus on being original and delivering a product that people can't get anywhere else and it's actually good, it'll sell itself. You can do other things to make it bigger, but it just sells itself. It's pretty simple. You know what I mean? People like something, they consume it, and it grows. Some stuff faster than others, but it's really about focusing on being original, whether it's the story you're telling, the way you're telling it, how you're delivering it, the beat choice, the sounds, and making sure that they're at the highest level of quality you can make them. And I don't mean like you have to be at the most state-of-the-art studio. I just mean like the quality of music has to be really good. You know what I mean? And if you take the time to do those things, you'll find a group of people that'll fuck with you, and that group of people will turn into millions of people one day. And I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, all the marketing stuff, you know, that's great, but it's like you need a product and a brand identity. That's the most important. I was reading a book, the 22 Immutable Laws of Branding, and it says how marketing is like not even important. It's about branding. It's about creating a brand that people like, people that are like-minded can attach themselves to, and then you put marketing on top of that. But if you have no brand, you have no foundation. You know what I mean? So.
And then one last question. This is mostly for me, but
yeah.
I'd love to hear a lot about the song "Porno" on the album. And I say that because
that's the one you want to talk about right now at Harvard.
Here we are. Why not? I just think lyrically it's so brilliant and so layered, and I just love to hear about what got you there and what were you thinking about?
Are you sure you want to?
I listen to it and I'm just thinking constantly. So I want to hear about it.
Porno. I heard the beat. Rascal sent me the beat. And the first thing I said when I heard the beat, it was like Pusha T. I didn't even write nothing yet. I just heard Pusha T like immediately. And then I knew that beat was special. It was just so good. So I sat on it for a little while. I didn't write to it right away. And then I was in LA. I think I was like looking at bikes or something like that. And I went to go get a bike. I didn't end up getting it. It was like mad expensive. I'm like, yo, I don't need this bike. So I went to the car and I put on the beat, and I just felt like I wanted to write it right there. So I wrote the first verse, and I knew what I wanted to talk about. It was a subject in the album that a lot of people don't really touch on, and it's about like how you got into sex, porn, things like that, like. And I dug into like the fact that it was like something I was exposed to at the age of 4, you know what I mean? Like really young. And maybe that's the reason why I think of these things that I'm thinking of. So I wrote all of those things that I thought of down, and I was just trying to be as clever with the bars as possible, you know what I mean? Then it was like, okay, I got this song. I sent it to Push. Push immediately was like, I'm on it. And he sent me the verse back. And then I was originally going to get Tyler to do it. And it's funny because he came to my house to, I don't know if he came to do it. I don't know. But he came to the crib, and I played it for him. He's like, man, I really want to get on. It was like Igor had just came out, and he was like crazy. Like he had to go like, it was the day they announced Flog Gnaw. He was there at the crib. And it was just like, yo, all right, let me see what I could do. And it just didn't meet the deadline. So we weren't able to get it. But Jid had already sent his verse, and he killed it. So we had his joint on there, and that's how the whole thing kind of came together. Yeah.